What is up, YouTube? This is the executive producer here for On the Warpath. Welcome all. It is Wednesday, so yes, technically Warpath Wednesday. Not really. I'm not the real host. We all know that. Sup, Core? Love y'all. Anyways, so news this week as Corey broke when it happened. The Washington Redskins have fired Jay Gruden as head coach of the Washington Redskins. He was the longest tenured coach in the Daniel Snyder ownership era. And we all know Daniel Snyder's not going anywhere, and Bruce Allen's probably not going anywhere. I want to play devil's advocate for a few minutes here, and just bear with me. Corey, I know you're going to respond to this, so I am looking forward to that. As well as any other Redskins YouTuber, JD, B Militant, Louis T, BFG, please, brothers, respond. Let me know. But I'm going to play devil's advocate. What if, over the past, 6-7 years, it wasn't really Bruce Allen? Bruce Allen doesn't coach the team. He doesn't. His job is to run operations and to make sure the right players are picked. Now, we can all agree, I believe, that the Redskins are stacked talently. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Brandon Sheriff, Morgan Moses for all of his penalties. Terry McLaurin's turned out to be a stud. Trey Quinn is starting to prove to be a decent slot receiver. Vernon Davis, Jordan Reed. Of course, Jordan Reed can't stay healthy. Trent Williams, even though Trent Williams isn't there right now, and probably won't ever be again. But we're pretty stacked. I mean, like I said, Jonathan Allen, Landon Collins is there. Quentin Dunbar had 2 picks a couple weeks ago against Daniel Jones. We have talent. Tress Way, Dustin Hopkins, Nick Sundberg. I'll throw the long snapper in there. Sure, why not? That's an important job, believe it or not. Make sure you don't snap that ball over that holder's head or over the punter's head. Yeah, no, that's pretty important, guys. Field position is every bit as important as putting a stop together, putting a good drive together. So we have the talent. We haven't had the coaching. Has anyone ever really asked themselves, well, maybe Jay Gruden is the problem? Maybe it's not Bruce Allen. Maybe it is Jay Gruden. Maybe he was the issue. Because there were all these reports that he was too soft, he lacked a good work ethic, he didn't like to practice. I noticed that over the past few years that he even said at one point if he could do just all walkthroughs, he would. That's not practicing. That's not getting the team prepared. Just doing walkthroughs. In order to get better at something, you have to practice. You can't just pick up the guitar one day and start busting out Layla. You have to practice. You gotta learn your scale. You gotta learn your chords. You gotta learn your hand and finger placements. Know your strumming patterns. Then you bust out that Eric Clapton hit and you go, what's up? Same thing in football. You have to practice in order to get better. Tom Brady is a perfect example of that. That man does not take a day off. Even in the off-season, even when he's on vacation with his kids, he brings his personal trainer with him on vacation with his family. So that way he sets aside an hour and a half to 2 hours a day practicing his mechanics, doing dropbacks, doing throwing motions. If you watch the special Tom vs. Time on Facebook, you would see the kind of practice he goes through just in the off season. And he mentioned about doing some kind of different motion with his arm. He adjusted himself by like 3 inches maybe. like 3 inches of a degree of space, and he was like, "Oh, holy crap, this is amazing," and that's coming from the GOAT. So it goes to show you that nobody's perfect and everybody learns. And you're gonna have to practice to get better. I am glad that Callahan is the interim head coach and that O'Connell's gonna be the one calling the plays. Because Callahan has that work ethic, that hard nose. Hey, I'm not going to take any of your shizzle. Get down, give me 20. Go run the Oklahoma, see if I care. Cry to me later. Go cry to your therapist. I don't care. You're going to work and you're going to work hard. Jay Gruden wasn't like that. Everyone said that Jay Gruden was a player's coach. Because, you know why he was a player's coach? Because he was buddy-buddy with all the players. He liked to be everybody's friend. And he did not produce. Being everyone's friend does not make you a good leader. It doesn't. I've had to learn that in jobs. Been a manager in almost every single job I've had. Had to learn from my very first management position up to the current one I'm in now. You can't be everyone's friend. You gotta learn to separate when being friendly and being nice and being amicable is different from being professional. And knowing when to put the pedal to the metal and get to work. It's a hard balance to walk, guys. And Jay Gruden could not walk the walk. He talked the talk. He was hilarious in interviews. He was definitely hilarious in press conferences. But other than that, he was not a hard-nosed coach. He wasn't. You know, there are reports that he hid behind Sean McVay. That Sean McVay was the real driving force there during 2014 to 2016. And there's a reason why they had so much success in 2015 and 2016, regardless of poor division. But Sean McVay is the head coach of the Rams now. Matt LaFleur is the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Kyle Shanahan's the head coach of the 49ers. Guess what? They're all first place in their divisions. Except for Sean McVay's in second place, I believe. Maybe third right now. But Sean McVay led a team to a Super Bowl last year. Lost 13-3, I think it was. A very hard defensive battle. Battle of inches, definitely. Football's a game of inches. Sean McVay was outcoached by the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick. Jared Goff was outplayed by Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't throw a touchdown during that game, but he knew how to manage the ball. Number one job of quarterback, game manager. Not all-star. Not making sure you put everything on your back and carry the entire team. Is knowing who's going to have the best chance to have your team succeed and make sure you get that person the ball. There's a reason Julian Edelman was the MVP of that Super Bowl this last year. There's a reason Sony Michel ran for almost 100 yards, maybe even over 100 yards in that Super Bowl and had the only scoring touchdown. You put their aces in their places. Plain and simple, guys. Jay Gruden was not an ace. Me and Core said many times on this channel that we believe that Jay Gruden is a better offensive coordinator than he is a head coach. I'll get to prove that now. He may get another head coaching job if he just decides to take a year off. He might. It's a very strong possibility. I'm not denying it. But more than likely he's going to go to his brother in Oakland. Later, guys.